Hello, my name is Monster Hunter, and no good stat goes unpunished. Weapon stats are allocated depending on the benefits and drawbacks of each. You'll see certain properties spread on different weapons, like higher than average raw afforded to weapons with negative affinity, extremely high element at the cost of lower base raw, or weapons with incredible attack, element, and sharpness losing out on decoration slots. Weapons typically follow a theme presented by the monster that determines how those stats are provided. The weapons discussed in this video all suffer from the exact same issue of receiving a singular heavenly stat and paying the price. Affinity has evolved to become a quintessential part of the series since its introduction in Monster Hunter DOS, and for good reason. Critical hits deal 1.25 times, or 25% bonus damage to your attack, which just boils down to number get bigger. No matter how good Affinity is, it becomes problematic when it's placed on a weapon. There exists a power balance system in Monster Hunter that gives and takes from what is necessary to not only fit a monster's theme, but also the weapon type that it fosters. For instance, the Tigrex tree consists of high base raw, 10 to 30 points of purple sharpness, negative affinity, 1 or no decoration slots, and level 2 rampage decoration slot. The tree has been allowed to have purple sharpness and high raw at the cost of its affinity and a lack of decoration slots. When it comes to set building with a weapon, you may not have to slot in handicraft to reach purple, but more affinity-based skills will have to be slotted to even out the affinity. So, what do you think happens to a weapon that has high affinity, or any affinity at all? Well, spoiler alert, they get annihilated. Today's weapons are the Amber Permafrost, Voltaic Load, and the Law Conclusion. Barioth, Estalos, and Shigaru Magala respectively. Each of these weapons have extremely high affinity, and as a result, they lose out in other areas. There are exceptions to the rule like the Chaotic Gore and Flaming Espionage trees, but on average, high affinity cannot be fit into the power budget. The last two episodes I spoke about how file type and a singular stat can spell ruin for a switch axe, which doesn't change here. At the top of the list is the Astalos switch axe. It has the highest base raw, but the lowest base element and affinity of the bunch. Considering the fact that it is a power file, element isn't necessarily a huge factor, but since it's so low, it won't be competing with any of the other weapons in its element class. The augmented stats, they aren't even good enough to write home about either. The weapon has a level 2 rampage decoration slot, and we all know how that works on Switch Axe. You either give it the level 4 attack boost and level 2 element boost to bring it up to 360 raw and 52 element, or you use the level 3 attack boost, level 1 rampage upgrade slot in order to take advantage of file switch boost. Either way that goes, the Zinogre Switch Axe is still better. Moving on to the next weapon, the Barioth Switch Axe. See what 30% affinity gets you? Low base raw and element on an element file, and a big stinky level 1 rampage decoration slot. What is the point of having 30% bonus affinity when you have low stats and the rampage slot is level 1? We've covered this in previous videos. Switch axes function best with the file switch boost and augmenting your stats as far as they can go. You sacrifice 4 to 7 slots for rampage upgrade, and you can't maximize element on a weapon that has piss poor stats to begin with. So yeah, the Lagombi Switch Axe is taking that ice element responsibility all the way. Just a bad weapon all around. Lastly, the Shigaru Magala Switch Axe got the worst treatment out of the bunch. A power file Switch Axe with extremely low base raw and above average element, no decoration slots, and a level 1 rampage slot. What is the point of this weapon? At the very least, Barioth had a level 2 decoration slot, but this is just cruel. There is no point in using this weapon outside of ignorance or love for the monster, and even then you can just create layered weapons. All because it has 30% affinity, it practically gets annihilated in this way. As a power file weapon, it requires raw to function better, and the affinity cannot make up for it in ways that other weapons can. If it had base white sharpness with the potential for purple, a tad lower element, higher raw, and at least a level 2 rampage decoration, it could have been a hell of a lot better. All in all, the power balancing of Monster Hunter is such a way that any benefit provided must come with an equal and fair drawback. However, sometimes the creators go a bit too far and punish a weapon for the blessings that they provided. Now, I apologize if this is a shorter episode, but I'm also getting down and dirty with another long-standing series, and backed up on several videos I want to release at good times. Thanks for sticking with me, and until next time.